All players, look at 59-year-old David Merryman just smiling with glee in his mugshot. Well, I'm wondering, is he smiling now, considering the fact that his ass has been sentenced to 17 years in the clink for harassing his black tenants with racial slurs and stealing their identities to obtain COVID relief funds? Oh, yes, honey. It's true. According to federal prosecutors, good old David Merryman here had more than 60 rental properties in low-income black neighborhoods in Newport News and Hampton, Virginia. Now, when you hear that, you would say this guy had an opportunity to do the right thing. But no. Of course, he did not. He decided to harass and bully his tenants whenever they asked him to fix some of the deplorable conditions that they were living in. According to prosecutors, David's rental properties were in awful and despicable condition, some of them with holes in the ceilings and walls, leaks and rodent activity. Some of them didn't even have working refrigerators, stoves, or working heat or anything to that effect. There was one that even had raw sewage inside of the home, so much so that the tenant had to scurry on down the street to the gas station whenever they wanted to relieve themselves. And when his low-income black tenants would go to him and complain to him about the conditions of the home, or even say, hey, I'm short on rent this month because I had to buy a refrigerator. There was no working refrigerator, or there was no working air conditioning, so I had to buy a fan. You know what David would tell them? Get a job, you black N-word. And according to federal prosecutors, it didn't just stop with the racial epithets for good old David, honey. He had to get physical. At one point, he physically attacked one of his tenants with a chainsaw because they were complaining. Another, he threw an alley wrench at him. And then there was one time when he threatened to throw a brick at a tenant. Prosecutors also found that he fraudulently obtained large initial payments in the form of security deposits, prepaid rent, and other fees for the rental homes that were in poor repair. And he would deliberately target families of color with limited means and housing options. But wait, there's more. During the pandemonium, when federal and state lawmakers released relief funds for renters, prosecutors said that David Merryman, baby, used that as his own piggy bank by forging the signatures of some of his tenants so he could pocket the cash. And he would then evict or threaten to evict those very same people, even though he had received those relief payments. In one case, there was a tenant who had faithfully paid her rent since 2015 until she was laid off in 2021. Baby, David Merryman forced the woman's signature on an application to the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development and received about $15,000 in rent relief. When the woman was still in the hospital, he evicted her and had the crew throw away all of her belongings inside of the house and even towed her car. Well, David Merryman, you don't seem to be smiling now because your ass has been sentenced to 17 years in the clink. And most of those houses have been condemned. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Well, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This is your girl, Double D Mova, reporting for the Black Accurate News.